Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to Great Days. So today I wanted to talk about grace and receiving grace within yourself, and grace being the force to allow you to ascend. Okay, um, I want to say an anti-gravitational force. Okay, so let's get into this. Um, so grace is pretty much a force which allows you to come into a state of upliftment, or even a liberated state, right? And grace is something that is always available because it is something within us. Once again, there was something that I read that said there's two forces. There's a gravitational force. There's a graceful force. Um, and this graceful force is what allows us to lift ourselves up, right? Whenever you're feeling very graceful, you are very lighthearted. Okay, so you can begin to float around, you know, and everything is just so free, or you feel so free. Um, and then there's kind of like an opposing force, which is like a pressurizing, right, which kind of holds you down and condenses things, and keeps you in a densifying state, right? Um, and a lot of people know the gravitational force very well because this is something that society kind of supports, you know, um, when it comes to how the people are fixating themselves. The gravitational force is most definitely supported, right? But there's also a graceful force, and this is the force that you want to get with, because this is going to allow you to liberate yourself. Um, and just the way society does things, it doesn't always keep people in a grace, you know. More so, it keeps people within a conflicted state, and even within a dense energy to themselves, you know. Like if you go into people's homes, most people's homes don't really have too light of an energy to them when you feel out the space, you know. And if they do, chances are those people are already aware of the energy field and how to keep it clean, you know, how to keep the energy gracious, right? Light and loving and warm, you know. Um, and not enough people know this, right? Which should be part of everyday consciousness, but it's definitely ignored, you know. And society definitely supports the ignorance towards it, which is spread through the conditionings, which people are supporting their own conditioning, right? So it's definitely it's an ignorance, okay, which I have seen this ignorance myself, um, and everybody knows it. Okay, so gravity and grace. Everybody knows the gravity. We all have the ability to bend the gravitational force as well. This is what telekinesis is. We all have this. Unknowingly, we use telekinesis. Um, and we're kind of we put pressure on each other, you know, and we can we can get each other heated and do things like this, right? And there's a whole science to this, but I'm not gonna get into this because I'm here to focus on grace. Grace is um, the lightheartedness. You know, this is a completely different thing. This is being able to exist within the astral realm, right? You would need a grace more so. Grace is going to allow you to liberate yourself, right? Grace is going to allow you to shed conditioning. Grace is going to allow you to deprogram yourself, do things like this. And this is why society doesn't always support it. People are graceful by their nature, but even this can be manipulated, right, through genetic manipulation, modification, which they can do, and they can create a whole population through this, you know, and then just kind of control it. And this is kind of like getting into predeterminations and whatnot, and fate. But all that can be changed as well, you know, if you're able to come into a gracefulness within yourself. It allows you to transcend all of these things which you thought were set in place, you know, like a rock is kind of set in stone. Um, Even though it's not, over time, it's going to wither away, you know, or weather away. But what is set in stone is easily changed if you apply the uh, the grace to it. You know, if that makes any sense. Grace is most definitely needed to keep you in a blissful state. Bliss is going to allow you to transcend the ego, very simply. Um, Society definitely doesn't support bliss. Okay, you can go into um, any building, you know, within the city, and the highest chance is that there's not going to be too high of a bliss within that building, you know, and the architect of the building itself supports that bliss isn't going to be um, too high there, you know. So bliss is something that you can actually realize within yourself. You don't actually need you don't need anything to come into a blissful state. It's already there. It's just that there's a lot of there's a lot of veil, right, or something that is covering your eyes, so you can't actually see the bliss, but it is there, right? And you kind of got to get under all of the stuff that is blinding you to it, right? So there's a lot of different poisons and whatnot that are keeping you away from bliss because they're, you know, they're basically taking your livelihoods or your health, you know, even, and this is keeping you in states of suffering, right? And there's a lot of things that are not talked about to the people, so that suffering can amass within an ignorant state, and this amassing suffering kind of gathers, you know, and it's kind of Christalized throughout the people who are within that level of consciousness, and it can manifest certain realities, you know. But all of that can be transcended very, very simply, and it begins with receiving grace. So grace is free to everybody, right? Bliss is free to everybody. Unconditionality is within everybody. And all you have to do is connect yourself to the universe. All you have to do is connect yourself to God. But you don't need another person to do that, or third party force. You can do this within yourself, which is the purest way to do it, because the purity is found within you. Right? So you always go within yourself. Even if you go through a third party, you're still going to be doing it within yourself, right? Because nobody can give you anything. People give you material things, but this is this is the primal materia, right? So you must turn on to it before you're able to receive it from anybody. But once you turn it on within yourself, once you flip the switch and connect, then it may be given to you, you know, but you can't be given it unless you've already seen it, you know, or unless you've already turned on to it. So you have to go within yourself, and that's the first step. Grace is something within you. It's literally the masculine counter rotation, or the masculine counterclockwise rotation, right? The sun is grace. The sun is light. The sun is consciousness. This is what you want to connect yourself with. The solar energy is going to allow you to come into a grace, right? Great gravity there too, but you're looking towards the grace, because this is, you want to get you want to get taken in by the sun, you know, completely, until there's nothing left. You want to become the sun, right? Because the sun is God, the son of God, right? The son is God. The son and the Father are one and the same, which the Father is God, God Father, the Father God, the mafia. So the Son and the Father are one and the same. So the sun they're talking about is the sun, the star. This is where we're deriving our energy from, the sun, right? If we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't be alive. So the sun is vital to our existence. So you definitely want to you want to connect yourself with the sun, and then there will be a grace within yourself, because you're connecting to source, the source of energy, right? The more energy you have, the more life you have, and life is grace, right? You can become liberated slowly if you follow in that grace, right? And it's there for everybody. Just touch upon it within yourself. Connect with the earth. The earth can put you in a very graceful state, right? And that's all there is to it. So, do thank everybody for watching. Once again, peace out, one love, and have a great evening.